So we set up the Centre for Turf Innovation just over 5 years ago. We really wanted to understand when we're developing our new turf products, what the players, what the users wanted from the turf. We were really good at the engineering, at the extrusion, the manufacturing. We weren't spending much time with the players, with the end users, with the coaches. We wanted to really get a good understanding from what they wanted from the surface to help us to develop the next generation of turf. It was a really long process. It took many, many years. We really wanted to develop it fundamentally from the ground up. We wanted to understand each element and really revolutionize the turf, but not just from what we've been doing in the past with legacy turf, but from what good quality grass could deliver. We wanted to develop the turf based on the best quality natural grass and try and emulate that with our turf. It took years of development, over 5 years, over 50 iterations, really in depth, looking at every single angle of the research we could possibly think of to get to the final solution. We used a wide range of different technologies to evaluate it. So when we were developing PT, we wanted to develop it with the athletes using a high-speed video analysis, motion capture, sensors, a whole host of instrumentation. So we geared up the players, we put all the equipment on them, and we analysed what they were doing as they were running, turning, sliding on the turf. We really wanted to understand how the turf was affecting the players and how the players were affecting the turf. We started this whole process at CTI in the laboratory, but of course we wanted to understand how it was going to work in the real world. So we made sure our technology, we could put that in a suitcase, could fly to a site or drive to a site and measure that field and that athlete with the players. We did a lot of this at PSV Eindhoven at our field laboratory, but we also did it at other locations. We wanted to travel with the players. The great part of that meant that we could do that in sunny weather, in cold weather, in rain, in dry, a whole host of different conditions that the turf is going to be experiencing in a typical outdoor environment. And we're able to understand how the turf was going to perform in all those wide variety of different conditions. When we were measuring the players on the grass, we could look at their joint angles, their knee flexion, the amount of load that they would generate onto the surface, and the amount of force the surface would give back to the athlete. So what we did was we analysed that on good quality grass, and then we started looking at our old turf, but also our pure PT, to see where those differences existed, and then to try and close the gap on those differences to make sure that PT was getting as close to good quality grass as possible. Very complicated process to understand the biomechanics of what an athlete is doing, but using the latest technology, the sensors and high-speed video, we can see what's happening, we can measure what's happening, and we can close that gap to get great quality turf. When we were doing our testing, we noticed on natural grass that the forces were very different, not necessarily in the loading. We were quite good at absorbing the load historically, but we saw on natural grass that the unloading, the recoil effect we called it, when the grass would not provide a huge amount of energy back. It would absorb the energy really well, but then it would plastically deform and you'd leave a little divot in the ground. Whereas on a rubber field, on an old field, that rubber would bend and squash, but then it would push back. You get a lot of energy coming back to the athlete. And that was very artificial, very synthetic feeling for the athletes. One of the main reasons that athletes said, we don't like turf as much as we like grass. With PT, we're able to overcome that. We're able to tune the yarns and the fibers to absorb like a soil, but not spring back fast. They come back nice and slowly. So you don't need to maintain it hugely intensively like you would a grass field, but it has a very similar mechanics, a very similar property. And players tell us it's almost identical to playing on good quality grass. As well as doing a huge amount of biomechanics testing and measuring those forces and joint angles and things like that, we also want to talk to the players. It's important that they tell us what they like and what they dislike. And it's spent a huge amount of time in focus groups, doing interviews, player surveys with both players, coaches, physios to understand what they're telling us and then link that together with the biomechanics data and put those two things together to make sure that what they like and what they dislike are known to us, and we can correlate that with the biomechanics data, and that allows us to iterate and develop the surfaces. And we're able to do this very, very quickly in the laboratory and then do it additionally on site when we finish the fields. So one of the huge advantages of turf is ability to use it all year round, its longevity, its low maintenance. And when we were developing PT, we wanted to make sure that we maintained and we continued those advantages. And that's the reason why people choose turf, because they want that flexibility, they want that year-round use. So one of the big things we did in the laboratory is we wanted to make sure and validate that our product was going to last as long. We wanted to make sure PT was going to last as long, if not longer, than what those current products were. So we spent a huge amount of time simulating wear. We call it the list sport testing. We do thousands and thousands of hours within a week, and we can run that for many, many weeks to try and understand how the surface is going to behave over 10, 15, 20 years worth of simulated use. When we started doing that testing, of course, we designed the turf, designed PT to make sure it would last a long time. When we started getting the results back, we were amazed. In fact, the degradation and the wear on PT was significantly lower than any of our current turf products, which meant that the life expectancy is going to be extended compared to many of our current products. So not only are we maintaining the benefits of turf, we're actually improving them with longer life expectancy, but also with less maintenance. We're not having to worry about redistributing and putting that infill back in on a regular basis. Infill is needed in current turf fields, which means when you're maintaining it, you need to make sure that infill's in the right place at the right amount. When players use the field, that infill moves around, it's mobile within the turf. That's one of the reasons you use it. But with PT, we don't need that infill. So when it comes to maintenance, we don't need to do as much effort in topping up, brushing and maintaining. Yes, we need to maintain it, but with significantly less effort and significantly less time, therefore less cost. Pure PT, it was designed very much to emulate the best quality natural grass in a stadium environment when the weather, the conditions and the use are all perfect. That was the remit we had, whilst at the same time making sure that it was going to be sustainable, long-lasting and easy to use.
Pure PT represents a revolution in turf technology, and we're really proud of what we've achieved here. Being developed from the ground up from professional football players and now being used in the top of the Premier League right through to amateur community centres. Please reach out if there's a field tour that you'd like to come and see, and we'd love to work with you.
Kia ora, my name's Heath McNeil. I'm the Leader of Learning Principal at Ormiston Primary School here in Auckland, Aotearoa, New Zealand. We saw the need to do something about our existing grass field with an increasing role touching on 1300. We had a field that for months during the year, because of the winter in Auckland, meant that we couldn't get all of our learners out each and every break time, even if it was just showery, because of the mud, the dirt, the cleaning of uniforms. So this has been a total game changer for us. Lots of our families live in houses with no backyards, so as soon as this opened, we opened it to the whole community, and it's been a real asset already to our community. So when we were looking at the types of turf, we definitely wanted something that was low maintenance. So we made sure that we looked at the technology that would enable us to do football with and without boots, and have something that was soft, cushioned. And when we talked to TigerTurf, they introduced us to the NRG2 system. When we combined that with the EcoSet underlay, making sure that that was sustainable and good for the environment, one of the main reasons why we went for the combination of the NRG2 and the EcoSet. One of the other important reasons for us to choose TigerTurf was that they were local. They were not only just in New Zealand, but were in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, just down the road. So the feedback to the turf from all of our stakeholders, from the learners, our staff, the community, has just been overwhelmingly positive.
So it was really exciting to be invited by the school to look at the feasibility of such a project. And in those early design phases, we really worked with the school to get a good understanding of what they're after. And they wanted something focused on football, but really versatile for the wider requirements of such a primary school, as well as low maintenance and hard wearing. And I think we really hit it out the park with what we've achieved here. At its base, we've got EcoSept, which is a recycled rubber and plastic drainage layer. And on top of that, we've got one of the latest turf products in the industry, NRG2, which is a non-infilled football product with none of the historic sand or rubber or wood ballast to help support that performance characteristics. And it speaks for itself in how well it's turned out, and we're really, really proud of it.